Hello guys, welcome to another one of my small videos about this Newscool instrument in Reaktor 5. My first video was just a little bit of crazy pants out there for you guys to see what this was about, at least in my eyes. And in this video I wanted to clarify the algorithm rules a bit more. So the first thing that you may want to know is that the algorithm that this is based on is from Conway's Game of Life. You can wiki that. There are also some patterns in there where you can actually draw that from the wiki, and it's going to behave like that here in Newscool in Reaktor 5. So Conway's Game of Life, I'm going to post down a link, of course I am. But for now guys, let's look at the rules for this music life really. We have 4 rules for how life, the music, is going to evolve in this music game, really. There are 2 things you want to know to start with. If something is colored, it is alive. If it isn't, it is dead. And every dot, being black or not black, colored or not colored, is a cell. That is like the basics of it. A neighbor is anything that is next to something else. Pretty much as in the real world. Right guys, so the rules. Rule number 1. Any live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies as if caused by underpopulation. So, if you have 1 dot, it will die. If you have 2 dots, they will both die. And if you have 3 dots, and we're talking next to each other, they have 2 live neighbors. So they will stay alive. Well, some of them will, anyway. So that is like, the one on the right side has 1 neighbor that is alive, so that's not enough. The one in the middle has 2 neighbors that are alive, so it will stay alive. And so that is like the basis of it. Number 2, any live cell with 2 or 3 live neighbors lives on to the next generation. So, if you have 2 or 3 dots connected to you, you will not die. That is rule number 2. Rule number 3. Any live cell with more than 3 live neighbors dies as if by overpopulation. So if you have a long line, some of them are going to die. Because if you have 3 live neighbors, then you're going to die. It was overpopulation. Too bad. Blows to be you. So that is another rule. So even though you may be in a position to live on, you can actually die due to overpopulation. Rule number 4, any dead cell, so that's anything that isn't colored already, with exactly 3 live neighbors, becomes a live cell as if by reproduction. So once again, imagine we put 3 dots next to each other. What's going to happen is that on both sides of these 3, we're going to have something come to life because there are 3 live neighbors. And the dot in the middle is of course also going to be alive because it has 2 live neighbors. So the patterns are going to change based on this all the time. So the next time around, what's going to happen is that whatever these first 3 dots have become is going to be processed through the same algorithm. So for every step in the rhythm, everything in the pattern in the game is compared to these rules, and that gives the sound in the next step. So these 4 rules are super basic, but at the same time really hardcore. So it can be insanely confusing, but now they're here. Well, they've been here for a long time, but now I have put them here in the video for you guys as like a reference, so that you can go in there and have fun. And even if you don't completely understand them, perhaps it will allow you to fiddle around a bit more intelligently in the game, in the music program, even though I feel it is about having fun more than anything else. Let us fiddle around a little bit here. I'm going to clear out the drawing, the house, and then I'm going to draw in a pretty simple pattern. Here we have 3 and 3. So we have a plus symbol and we're just gonna see how that, whoa, yeah, sorry, I need to move it over there. So this is how a plus behaves based on the amount of steps and the loop settings we have right now. So the plus evolves into this stuff here, and at some point we tell the program our loop is only this long, so you need to restart at that point. If we just draw three dots, as you can see here, they're going to constantly change between being vertical and horizontal, because that is how the game rules make them behave, evolve, die, reproduce. A corner changes into that weird shape and it kind of stays there, keeping itself alive in that shape. So you can make a lot of small like groups of life that will do their own thing, stay within their own loops and communities, but you can also make something that actually moves from one cluster into another, and then these groups of artificial life interact with each other and become something new and different. This all really depends on what are you drawing and how long time will you allow the loop to be alive before it resets. And you can actually change it to just go on indefinitely, continue doing its own thing forever, and make crazy music discoveries based on that. And you can also choose to like start the loop at a different evolution than the very first things, or there are many things you can fill around with in regards to how you want to use this game of life themed, algorithmed, dotty music to make really silly, cool, fun, and crazy things. And we are talking the super basics part of this program. The stuff you can do in here is mind-blowingly amazing because it is so wild, crazy, and because you can get these really, really unique sounds that kind of just evolve as you're playing with it. And I'm just so hyped about that idea, like crazy. So guys, that was pretty much what I had to share with you in this video here. The rules, let me just pull them up again. Like so, any live cell with fewer than 2 live neighbors dies as if caused by underpopulation. Any live cell with 2 or 3 live neighbors lives on to the next generation. Any live cell with more than 3 live neighbors dies as if by overpopulation, and any dead cell with exactly 3 live neighbors becomes a live cell as if by reproduction. So guys, that was like a small new look, or well, a bit more with the rules and stuff about Newscool in Reaktor 5. As always guys, thank you very much for watching.